In 1914, while the world descended into the chaos of the Great War, Ludwig Wittgenstein, the heir to one of Europe's most staggering industrial fortunes, volunteered for the front lines of the Austro-Hungarian army. He was not seeking glory, but rather a transformation through the proximity of death, carrying with him notebooks that would eventually become the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus. This work was not merely a contribution to philosophy, it was intended to be its final chapter, a clinical and mathematical solution to every problem the discipline had ever posed. Wittgenstein's central thesis was that philosophical problems arise because we fundamentally misunderstand the logic of our language, attempting to use words to reach depths where words cannot tread. To understand the gravity of Wittgenstein's work, one might look to a surprising parallel found in the work of Douglas Adams. As Matthias Broschhausen, 2006, observes in his essay, "Don't Panic," it's the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus. The story of the supercomputer Deep Thought serves as a perfect illustration of Wittgenstein's core logic. In Adams' narrative, a hyper-intelligent race seeks the ultimate answer to life, the universe, and everything, only to be given the inscrutable number 42. Broschhausen notes that this result is true beyond doubt, yet meaningless because the creators did not actually know the question. This mirrors Wittgenstein's proposition 6.5, which states, "When the answer cannot be put into words, neither can the question be put into words. The riddle does not exist." The foundation of this perspective is the picture theory of language. Wittgenstein argued in Proposition 1.1 that the world is the totality of facts, not of things. He proposed that a sentence functions exactly like a logical picture or a map. Just as a map's points correspond to geographical locations, the names in a sentence correspond to objects in the world. When the structure of our language mirrors the structure of reality, we are speaking sensibly. However, when we ask about the nature of the good or the meaning of life, the machinery of language breaks down. As Broschhausen points out, seeking these answers through logical or mechanical means, like a supercomputer, leads only to meaninglessness, because such questions exist outside the logic that language is built to handle. This leads to a distinction between saying and showing. Wittgenstein believed that things like ethics, aesthetics, and religion are transcendental, Prop 6.421. They are not facts in the world that can be pointed to. Rather, they are the most important aspects of existence that can only be shown through how we live. Broschhausen connects this to the end of Adam's story, where a second computer, the Earth itself, is built to discover the question. This computer is life itself. This aligns with Wittgenstein's Proposition 6.521, which suggests that the solution to the problem of life is seen in the vanishing of the problem. One does not solve the riddle of existence through a lecture. One dissolves the riddle by living in a way that makes the riddle disappear. Ultimately, Wittgenstein views his own work as a ladder, Prop 6.54. The reader must use these logical propositions to climb to a height of correct understanding, but once they see the world rightly, they must throw away the ladder. By drawing a hard boundary around what can be said clearly, Wittgenstein sought to protect the mystical from being cheapened by clumsy, circular debate. His final command, Proposition 7, serves as both a philosophical conclusion and a spiritual boundary. Whereof one cannot speak, thereof one must be silent. The story of Ludwig Wittgenstein and his ladder teaches us a powerful lesson about the limits of our own minds. In a world full of noise, social media debates, and endless opinions, Wittgenstein reminds us that not everything can be solved with an argument. Language has boundaries. The first part of the lesson is about clarity. Wittgenstein believed that words are like a map. A map is only useful if it shows you where things actually are. When we use words to argue about things we can't see or prove, like, what is the meaning of life, we often just get lost. Like the computer that gave the answer 42, we get answers that don't mean anything because we don't truly understand the question. Saying versus showing. The most important lesson is the difference between saying and showing. You can talk about kindness for hours, but you haven't actually explained it. You only show what kindness is by being kind. Wittgenstein tells us that the deep things in life, like love, faith, and art, are transcendental. They are too big for the machinery of our language. We don't solve the riddle of life by talking. We make the riddle disappear by living well. Throwing away the ladder. Finally, we learn about the ladder. We use logic, books, and videos like this one to climb to a higher level of understanding. But once we get there and see the world clearly, we have to throw away the ladder. We shouldn't stay stuck in the books or the theories. We have to step off the ladder and actually enter the world. The lesson of the Tractatus is a call to intellectual honesty. It tells us to speak clearly about the facts of the world, but to have the humbleness to be silent about the things that are beyond words. As the story ends, we are left with a simple truth. Don't just try to explain the world, learn how to live in it.